Hi Virgo, it's Sloan Rhodes here with your love and romance reading for mid-November through the end of December 2018. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus. And if you don't know what those are, I do have on my website, sloanrhodes.com, a resources page where you can, there's information there, and there are two links in particular to websites where you can find that out for free. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be drawing one card from the Sacred Geometry deck, Virgo, for this particular time period, and then one card from the Afterthoughts Tarot. So let's go ahead and get started. And just to remind all Virgos that all of my YouTube readings are available on the audio podcast, so you can listen to them as well. And there's a link below for that. And if you're interested in learning how to read or deepening your connection to reading Oracle and Tarot cards, I do have the Sloan Academy up where I have some courses available there. And there's links below. Virgo, mid-November through the end of December 2018. Okay, here we go, Virgo. Stone Stories. Wow, interesting. I've never seen this card before that I remember. Number 24, number 6. So it looks like I'm a Virgo sun. It looks like Virgos are coming through a period that has been rather difficult. You know, we've as I see 24, I add it together towards 6, and then, you know, the 5s tend to be kind of chaotic and tumultuous, and then the 6 is like, oh, okay, we're entering a new phase. We've overcome many of the difficulties that we were previously facing, or that Virgos may have been previously facing. So, and you're off and ready to go to the races. We have this Roadrunner here, you know. You're ready to go, but the Roadrunner hasn't gone yet, you know, and we see all these stone stories, all these ancestral all this ancestral wisdom, like a roadmap for where our ancestors were. So for many Virgos, it may be that in love, you've been working on some deep karmic patterns, I would say, from past lifetimes, possibly, and certainly some ancestral ideas about how to open yourself to love and how to be in love relationships. So for many of you Virgos, it may be that you have been looking towards ancestors, looking towards parents, and beginning to shift through stories and understandings that have been part of your lineage around love, and where you can, you know, create your own story around this, because these are all ancient. And of course, we have new consciousness around this. So some of these stories may not be as relevant anymore, and you can honor those and still go your own way, you know. There's one of my favorite movies is Sweet Home Alabama with Reese Witherspoon and a really cute guy in there. I can't remember his name, but he says to her, it's okay to have roots and wings. And I feel like this is for you too here, Virgo. It's okay to have roots. It's okay to honor your ancestors and to recognize where they had their own stories around love and relationships and how to be in the world. And you can take your own understandings with this new consciousness and run very, very quickly forward here, because we're at the 6, you know, so that's kind of cool. Now what this means for those of you who are single is that there may be a jumping off point here where you begin to see the evidence, let's say, of more people you are interested in or more people who are interested in you. And you may go on more dates, you may feel just more dynamic, you may feel sexier, you may feel like you're more grounded in who you are and what you want in love. And for those of you who are coupled, the same kind of applies. It may be that you've been kind of going through a period that was a little bit like rocky maybe, or uncomfortable, and now the two of you are ready to move forward. But it's not happening immediately as we go into this time frame, but certainly it's occurring. As I mentioned, this Roadrunner is ready to go, but not quite gone yet. It's like you're still taking it in. All right, let me get a card from the After Tarot. So what happens after this for Virgo? It's like you want to set your own story. You know, it's like maybe your parents, you know, had a really loving relationship, or maybe they had maybe you come from a divorced home, or who knows. We all have different experiences. But it's like you've been watching that, you've been looking at that. It feels like in some ways, or maybe during this particular time frame, you're taking note of particular stories that resonate with you, and then you're deciding to kind of go on your own and take those stories and move forward with them. We're not destined to repeat patterns. We are destined to readdress them, but then we can overcome them or transcend beyond them. I think it's Josh Lucas. I think that's his name, from Sweet Home Alabama. And Patrick Dempsey's in it too. Okay, Virgo. Knight of Swords. So here we are, this is kind of what I was saying. Like the Roadrunner has great speed and can go on a dime, but it's not quite yet here as we go mid-November into December. But what happens, by the end of December is, if you can imagine that he's riding the Roadrunner, he's going full steam ahead here, racing forward. He's on a mission, he's ready to go. It may be for some of you that there is a swift movement into love if you've been single. Or a swift movement by the end of December into a new love relationship, or just into the dating scene after maybe a period of being sort of more of a hermit. It could be that there is an air sign involved who comes racing in here. Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Or it could just be you, as I mentioned, just you're on a mission. And I kind of feel like with this, Virgo, you've been looking at these older stories, older paradigms, older values within your ancestral line, within your family lineage, even societal or cultural. And you're drinking it in, but you're also ready to go with your own story here. And then here we have you. If this is representative of you, Virgo, you're like not putting up with any of it. Like, get out of my way. I know what I want. And it doesn't have to be aggressive as it's sort of depicted here. But you're very clear-sighted. The Swords energy is about clarity, communication, this kind of thing. And you're not putting up with anything that isn't, it's going to weigh you down. The Roadrunner doesn't need a horse to jump onto or anything. He just takes off with his own feet, So making a beeline for what it is you do want. And it could be that somebody is actually making a beeline for you. And if you're in a couple, Virgo, it shows that the two of you are very, very focused on what you want to accomplish, and it may be that there is a very clear-sighted, fast-moving pace by the end of December here, or even just throughout this time period. It depends on how fast you sort of drink in this. Very interesting. I think that's all I want to say about that, Virgo. Remember to check your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs if you like, and maybe I'll see you at your private appointment, or over on the website, or over at the Sloan Academy, or over on the podcast. And I wish you happy holidays, and I will see you on the next video.